What's up, everybody? It's Brandon from Box Office Banner and Cult Flick Symposium. Chucky will not be with us on this review. Almost had to spark this criticism up. Had to stand up, kind of get my rhythm before I sat down. And what I thought is a key word, was gonna, really just maybe cause some trials and tribulations for y'all. Because I'm here to talk about Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, the fourth Indiana Jones. I think my hands are still dirty from work. Ew, grody, right? The fourth Indiana Jones movie, and a movie that I have unabashedly defended for a long time, people. Long time. This is a funny one. This movie is so hated on and bashed. And when I say hated on, like, anytime in public I've talked to people about this movie, it's not like it's just not very good, is it? It's oh my God, how in the fucking world could they ruin Indy like this? Oh, like, it's like a travesty. Like, almost like you want to pat him on the shoulder. You're like, are you okay, bud? I'm sorry for bringing it up. I never would have, if I would have known, I would have never. That is the type of shit people on. Like, you ain't got to be a big fan of the series or franchise, I should say, for you to have that type of reaction. At least in my experiences, like, people fucking love this movie. So much so that it's almost like easy for you to forget that, like, this movie wasn't panned. I don't know if y'all know this, but every Indiana Jones movie, even the new one, it started off in like the lower range on the tomato meter. Obviously, these are critics, but it actually did the opposite of what normally happens. Usually, the scores just go lower if it gets off to a rough start. Made its way back in the 60% towel, which 60% and above is certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. I'm talking about Dial of Destiny here. Now, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, I always forget when I go back and watch it. I'm like, oh shit, like, this is a 77% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's a pretty fucking good score, especially from a movie that is hated on. Maybe this is the fucking, Last Jedi of the Indiana Jones franchise. And I don't know, maybe I'm blind to this, but I feel like I haven't heard that comparison, but it really seems that way. But even then, I feel like I've heard critics, when I've heard them, like, just random, like, oh, look at this one person, one off, like Roger Ebert, like, I'm just using a random critic name, is like, says Indiana Jones sucks ass, and, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, whatever it is. That's what I see. But when I look it up, I see that, and IMDb is 6.2, which is like, user reviews. Not amazing for an Indiana Jones movie, but also not just like, don't even bring it up, it hurts, type of reaction I get in public, which always was more awkward because that's when I would come in and be like, hey, bud, I like it. And I've taken at least 3 left hooks for this opinion. No. Maybe I'm dramatizing it just a bit, but it really feels that way. So it is surprising that it is praised by critics, and 6.2 on IMDb. Not bad. How would I feel on this watch, though? I gotta tell you, for the first, hour or so, I was still locked in, bro. I mean, I was in there. Like, I was like, once again, I was even writing in the group chat with like all my other buddies that used to be on the podcast. They come on from time to time, but I'm talking like I was with them for every review other than my few little solo reviews and Top 5 Thursdays I do in between. But it was primarily a group podcast for the most part, whereas now it's like 90-10 me. Sorry if you were bigger fans of those guys. Like, why is this fucking Brandon guy on here? The other dudes were cooler. No, besides the point. But this movie, I'm telling them about it in the group chat. I'm like, once again, people are crazy. And it's funny because right about the time I said that, like an hour into the movie, like we're about to go to like the last hour, more like the last 40 minutes, it just shit the bed for me. If I finally came around to the haters, at least that I hear in public, and or just randomly like on Facebook or something in Facebook groups, like, that movie sucks. Not quite. I'm not there with it, but I get it a little more. For me, The only real hatred I've heard towards this movie, or at least the consistent thing, is the over reliance of CGI. And it's like, I get it. I'm anti CGI. I love practical effects. I'm a huge horror fan. When I see, like, even movies I absolutely love, like the It movies, I'm like, if you just fucking dialed back the CGI, you would have a damn masterpiece here. You know, it's frustrating. It's frustrating. But it doesn't ruin a movie, which is why I never understood that gripe. And overall, I'm here to say it didn't ruin the movie here either for me. But it came close this time around because the second half of this movie, the CGI, you want to talk about over-reliance, is just too much. Now, I think it's a little bit more important to not over CGI Indiana Jones because so much of what makes him so great is those set pieces that feel like they're right there. You know, it's not computer generated. Like, you feel like you can reach out and grab it. You feel like you're in the movie. You do not want to feel like you're out of an Indiana Jones movie. Not movie, I guess movies, but that's not how you'd word that, right? This particular movie. You want to feel like you're in there with Indy. You want the edge of your seat adventure. You're like, oh, wow, how did they make that? How'd they put that together? There's a certain flavor to Indiana Jones. And this movie not only threw in CGI, like at points you're like, why are you even doing CGI here? I don't understand. Was there a purpose for this? What the fuck is going on? And I didn't feel that quite that much until the last like 40 minutes. There was a little too much CGI. I'll say too, like the whole little like Nuketown, whatever you call it, bomb scene was a little ridiculous even for Indy. You know, I talked about this on my Fast and the Furious movies. There's a point where you feel like, oh my God, how did he get out of that danger? You know, like, oh, like say if you were surrounded by 50 sharks, just a random hypothetical, and you didn't get bit in half. You fucking evaded all of them, and you made it out. It's like, how did he survive that danger? And you never got touched. You never even got touched. You're fine. Sharks didn't even touch you. Look at Indy and Nuketown. Yes, it's how did he get out of that danger, but the man is in a fridge. He might not have got blown up, but he had the impact of going boom, 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 rolling down a hill and getting fucking thrown in a fridge. There's a difference there. There's no way to suspend disbelief. Now, I can do that in Indiana Jones movies for sure, but this is one of the first times I've seen where I'm just like, there's like, okay, he should have died from that, but Indiana Jones found a way out. He should have died from the blast, but there's also the part where, bro, you definitely would have died from the impact that I just watched you take, especially as old Indiana Jones. So that's minor gripes. But overall, the CGI, that little tidbit that wasn't even a huge thing. It's like, okay, one-off kind of thing. You know, it's kind of funny for what it is. Indy's into crazy shit this time. I had a decent time. Like the callbacks with everything, like in the beginning, going to that crate, all those crates. The fucking villain's not so good, but, you know, it's whatever. We'll see where it goes in the end. I'm on that wavelength. I'm trying to watch with fresh eyes, even though I know where it's going. Marion, bringing her back. Fuck yeah, it's the same actress. I'm on board. I love it. Shia LaBeouf. Who doesn't love Shia LaBeouf? I mean, I guess a lot of people don't, but like when you're deep into movies, regardless of what you think of him as a person, dude's got some chops, bro, can act. And this is one of like the first ones I remember, you know, post Even Stevens, where he got like a legit kind of role. Like, you know, Holes was cool, but it felt like, oh, he's getting a little more adult type film. Even though Indy can be family-ish, you know, it was the expansion. You felt the expansion coming. And this is one of the first times I felt that. Like, I'm like, oh, he's ascending even deeper. And I thought he did great. I had a great time with Shia. I hear a lot of people saying the set pieces are garbage in this movie. I mean, yeah, the CGI is bad, but like the ideas of what they're bringing to the table and nonsense that Indiana Jones gets in, entertaining to me. I thought so. Shit. And I think it's all fucking great. You know, we even got Indy with the whole snake routine. I love the quicksand. That was one of the last scenes I was just like, oh, I'm in love with this movie. About after that is where it faded. He's got to pull a snake. It's like, just say, grab the rope. Good stuff. And then the reveal that Shia's a son, I'm cool with that. You know, not just saw, because, you know, Last Crusade was in the 80s. This is 2008, I believe. But previous movie, Indy with his dad. Now we get to see it flip-flop. Like, oh my God, Indy is a dad. And I enjoyed the corniness of the jokes, just like Shia's like, I build motorcycles. You know, he's talking about dropping out of school to do that. And he's like, you make decent money? He's like, yeah, enough. And he's like, you got a problem with that? And he's thinking he's calling him out. He's like, no, not if it's what you love to do. And don't let anybody tell you different. Always love that line. But I love how it comes back around. He's just like, this is before I knew I was your dad. Like, different standards, you know? Before it was different strokes for different folks. Now it's like, I don't know, I'm your dad and I'm sad. Whatever dumb rhyme you want to throw on top of that. And you know, it's entertaining. It's cool to see this. Oh my God, shot. And even like when they're investigating, when they find the crystal skull, when they're in that underground tomb, they have to like battle all those crazy motherfuckers that are flipping everywhere and trying to do. I'm having a lot of fun here. But the last like 40 minutes, it's when they get to like that jungle-ish setting, onward. Like, not the beginning stages, because, you know, it's kind of dark. And then it's, like, for one scene, so you're enjoying it when there's, like, the car chase and, like, the ant shit. I was on board then. But then when it continues and continues and continues, it's like, okay, this is starting to wear on me. And it gets to a point where I'm just like, dude, I am tired of looking at this fucking video game. Like, it looks bad. It is not. Maybe even in 2008, maybe that's why it didn't bother me so much, because maybe it looked a little better then. But, like, nowadays, in the 4K, I'm like, this is not going to age well. Not having a good time with this at all. And that really, really frustrated me. It was dipping my score fast. And then this time around, for some whatever reason, the aliens, I don't know, dude. The whole alien thing, it's... Indiana Jones has always had that little extra oomph. It's not like straight edge, you know, no paranormal type of crazy shit can happen. You know, you don't know what's going to happen in Indiana Jones movies. It's easy to forget that because it feels kind of streamlined when you think about it. But then you look at it and you're like, this motherfucker's Temple of Doom ripping people's hearts out of their chests. There's Raiders of the Lost Ark at the end where he's like, cover your eyes. And it's like a fucking thing coming up and it's like disintegrating everybody's faces. It's got crazy shit in these movies. It's a little like, suspend your disbelief again in terms of not just being straight and narrow. Like, we got some, you know, other shit going on in these movies. So it works. But it felt cheap. Like, when it got to the alien shit, it wasn't like unique and cool. It was like, oh, it's your classic, like, worst alien ever to me. Like, it's not only the same, like, we come in peace alien that's been done a million times. There's no creativity there. It feels cop out. And then it's also like just like the most basic version of that basic version alien. And it just really leaves a sour taste in my mouth when you get that reveal and the way it is executed more than the reveal itself. But even the reveal is kind of like, okay, we're on the borderline here. Maybe if you do it right, and you don't at all. And again, we talk about CGI. Over-reliance of CGI. I get it now. I have new, fresh, clean eyes. The second half of this movie, not going to say I dislike it. I still think y'all are crazy. This is not a travesty. But I'm not as high on it as I was. Yeah. So, that's what I'll leave y'all with. We'll watch The Dial of Destiny here soon. Very excited about that still, obviously. Farewell tour. Didn't even think we were going to get another one after this. You know, not for me personally, even though it dipped a little bit for me here. Not going to say my score because I'm going to say it for the ranking after Dial of Destiny. But I didn't want the overall mood in the room for other people, since it was overall like, oh my God, like, I didn't want it to go out on that whimper that it felt like it was going out on, even if I highly enjoyed it before and like it a little less now. So I wanted this. Dial of Destiny's here, people. I was going to see it tonight, but I did not get off work when I wanted to. So I'm going to go ahead and said to myself, go ahead and do this review. Need to do this anyways before I see Dial of Destiny. And, you know, I'll see it tomorrow. And I will be back tomorrow with a review for you people. I think I'm going to go on my buddy Avery's show. Avery thing. Got to check it out. Talk some Bad Girls Club. I think that's what it's called. That's part of the fun here with that review or whatever. I'm going to review a couple episodes of something like that if it's not like that. I was like, Avery, I don't know shit about this shit. Like, what? It's not like, I'm not gay. I don't watch stuff like this. I might joke around a lot. Nothing wrong with being gay, but it's not my thing. I'm also not a woman because Avery is gay. And he's just like, well, that's what makes it fun. Like, you know, like, workout, straight male, fucking, like, talking about Bad Girls Club. I was like, you know what? Fine, dude. owe you this. I'm in. So check me out on there. But that's the review. Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Did I say Christmas Skull? Jesus. I don't know. It's getting late. Guys, do you think this movie's underrated? Like me? Do you think it's a travesty? Like most? Let me know. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Let me know. Damn. Love you guys.